And then when we look at the diabetes, so what I've discovered is diabetes is actually what's called a H6 gene defect. And what this does, it blocks the mitochondria of the cell from being able to uptake insulin. All right, so I'm going to go this one, because I feel this will connect with people as well. So this is around type 2 diabetes. I've been diagnosed as having diabetes type 2. I've never really believed that I have this, and I've had 2 psychics tell me that I haven't. Nothing I am doing is reducing my sugar levels, yet I am very careful with diet. Please help. So let's look at this from the sugar level scenario and the diabetes scenario. So the reason why for this person that they're not able to reduce their sugar levels is because we spoke about actually in the first one around the fat is that there's excess plasma in the body, which is binding the sugar and transporting it into the cells. So what happens then is no matter how little sugar you're having, every bit of it is getting taken into the cell, which is keeping your sugar levels up because the excess plasma is just there waiting to capture it to move it in. Yeah? So we need to reduce the plasma. And when we're looking at plasma, remember I'm talking about the liquid fluid that is in the blood. Yeah. And then when we look at the diabetes, so what I've discovered is diabetes is actually what's called a H6 gene defect. And what this does, it blocks the mitochondria of the cell from being able to uptake insulin. Yeah. So, and then what happens is when the mitochondria blocks, when the defect, blocks the mitochondria of the cell from uptaking the insulin, the body then stops producing insulin because it's like it doesn't have a purpose or a need or need to produce insulin. And then what happens is that where the insulin is, that space generally gets filled with viruses. So the person ends up with constantly getting sick and ends up with viruses in the blood. But it's connected to a H6 gene defect, which is I've connected it back to there was times of poverty in Europe back in the 1500s. So there's ancestral stuff there that needs to be dealt with and shifted to be able to shift that H6 gene defect. That's on on an energetic level. Then when you're looking at a physical level, it's cleaning blood out, cleaning the viruses out of the blood. Then it's activating the mitochondria to get it back up to a point to where it can start uptaking insulin again. There's even studies happening at the moment whereby they're showing that the body can still diabetics, they're taking their cells out of them, and basically they're showing that the cells can still uptake insulin when they're removed out of that environment, which is in the body. So it's the environment that the body's in, which is causing the diabetes, meaning that body, that it's toxicity in the body. Yeah, once you remove cells out of that environment in the body, in another environment, then they're able to uptake the insulin. So we need to deal with the toxicity in the blood, the toxicity in the body, and this is talking about diabetes. There is many levels and layers to that, so I'm not going to go into that tonight. I don't have the time because there is a process to it. But yeah, that's just giving you a quick understanding and knowing of what that's about and what the connections are to that. But the main thing about the blood sugars is reducing plasma in the body. So it's the liquid in the blood. It's the white blood cells. So we need to reduce that. And the way we reduce that is by reducing things like dairy, gluten, nuts, a lot of watery-based foods, and a lot of water and liquidy-based foods and liquids and things like that. So that's how you want to reduce that excess plasma.